Hi, how are you today, Naha?
Thank you. Very well. What
Okay,
about you?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm okay. So we're just having a very quick review, talking about some of the things we covered last time. One of them was wishes and how to talk about wishes. And if you're talking, of course, about a wish that involves some kind of a state, of course, we use the past simple. I wish we had a car. I wish I was on a beach somewhere. And if it's an activity happening now that you're wishing wasn't happening, so you could say, I wish I wasn't stuck in this traffic, or I wish you weren't so late. No, this is a state. I wish you weren't talking on the phone all the time, for example. This is more of something, an activity happening right now. We also can make wishes using could, if it's an ability, possibility thing. I wish I could speak Japanese, for example. And the last one is for obligations, something that you have to do and you wish you didn't have to. So you can say, I wish I didn't have to be here. I wish I didn't have to talk to my parents every day. Well, so this is a wish of an antisocial person, antisocial wishes. But I think you get the idea. And after that, after we did those wishes, we also linked them with the second conditional. So the second conditional is quite nice when you use it as a reason for your wish. So they're quite helpful. And we agreed that with the second conditional, the general rule is using the past simple in the if clause and using would plus infinitive in the main clause. This is how we use it grammatically, and it's good to talk about wishes or something that's unlikely to happen in the future, but you really want it to. So we talked about that. We also started talking about get. So get is a very interesting verb used in very different ways. And I think we talked about the third conditional. We just started talking about it, but we didn't do any exercises, I think. I think the last thing was number 5, right? We just sort of
Yeah,
covered
yeah.
how to make it, but
Mm.
we didn't really get into it yet. Okay, so a quick.
Yeah, an exercise. Number
Did we?
4 was an exercise.
Yeah, number 4 we did it. Yeah, number 4.
Yeah,
Correct. We did
an
3 and 4.
exercise.
Yeah, the listening exercises 3 and 4. Correct. Yeah, but I think the grammar ones, number 8, we didn't do it yet. Number 8 and 9, we haven't done them yet. I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
even 6, 7. I
Even
don't know.
6.
Maybe
Correct. Yeah,
listen.
we didn't do the listening yet. And the listening, I think the only thing we need to keep in mind, which is very, very important, is that the have, I would have, it will always, always, always be in the weak form. You will never hear them saying, I would have met my husband, or I wouldn't have. This is almost an impossibility, I can assure you. It will probably always be in the weak form.
Wouldn't. Week 4.
No, not wouldn't. The have that comes with
Mm.
it.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't have,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have, would have, I would have found them, I would have done that, I would have been there, I would have studied it, I would have driven there, I wouldn't have been there, I wouldn't have eaten it, I wouldn't have drunk it, I wouldn't have started it. Do you get the
Yeah.
idea? So I think that's the only tip, that it's very important to use the weak form of. And of course the contraction. I stayed at home. If I had, you probably won't hear them saying had. It will be the contraction. If I'd stayed at home, if I'd done that, if I'd been there on time, if I'd driven there first, if I'd paid for it, if I'd, and so on. So it's I had, but it will pretty much always, I don't want to say always, but most of, let's say 90% of the time, it will be in the contracted form. So you will not hear had, and you will not hear have. This is, I think this is the tip here. All right. But before we go back to listening, let's take a very quick look. Let's very quickly review the grammatical form or structure of the third conditional. So this is a nice model example of third conditional. We can clearly see the if clause and we can see the main clause. And we agreed that the sentence talks about the past. It doesn't talk about the present. It talks about something that's imaginary because it will never happen because it's already done. It's already in the past. We agreed that Carol didn't stay home, and we agreed that she did meet her husband after all. Now, the if clause, we also agreed that past perfect, we don't use the past simple. And we also agreed that with the main clause, we always use the past participle. And it's up to you. If you want to put the main clause first, fine. If you want to use the if clause, fine, right? So this is just a quick reminder of the form itself, how to write the third conditional. Is it clear, Brian? Do you get the general idea? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Now, very quickly, I'm going to just play the examples here, just so you can hear what we were talking about. Listen and write the sentences. We don't have to write them, but we can just repeat them, just to get a sense of how the third condition sounds. So let's check track 3, 34, 334.
They'd have come to the party if they'd wanted to.
Oops, not this one. 32, fine.
2. If I'd stayed at home, I wouldn't have met my husband. If I hadn't lost my job, I wouldn't have started my own business.
All right, now in 33, I just want you to repeat what you hear, that's all, to see if you really got it.
1. They'd have come to the party if they'd wanted to.
Brian?
They would come to the party if they wanted to.
Again?
They would come to the party if they wanted to.
I think you missed something.
If they'd wanted to.
Yeah, here it is.
Track 33. 1. They'd have come to the party if they'd wanted to.
Huh, Brian?
تعودها.
Okay.
Track 33. 1.
By the way, listen and write. So they will repeat it, don't worry. Each sentence is repeated twice, okay? So if you miss it the first time, just wait a little, it will go again.
They'd have come to the party if they'd wanted to. They'd have come to the party if they'd wanted to.
What did you hear?
They would have come to the party if they wanted to.
Not quite. No, what did you hear? No, did you hear?
They'd come to the party if they wanted to. They had wanted to. They had wanted to.
مشكلة.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. It's not little, it's quite tricky actually. Okay, I'll give you a tip. They started with the main clause, okay? So
they would have come to the party if they wanted to.
Right, that's it. So if we want to do it in full without the weak form, they would have come to the party if they had wanted to.
Wanted to.
So this is the strong form. But of course, they'd have come, which means they would have come. They'd have come to the party if they'd wanted to. They had wanted to. All right, now next one.
Two. If you'd left a message, I'd have called you back.
It's a little easier, this one. Brahim?
If you left a message, I would have called you back.
Okay, listen again.
If you'd left a message, I'd have called you back.
If you left the message, if you did left a message.
What do we use with the if clause?
Past perfect.
Correct. So if you before left. If you had left.
أيوة.
So and if you'd left, الهاد دي ما يلزقوا فيهم. If you'd left
a message, I would have called you back.
That's it. If you'd left a message, I would have called you back. Did the person leave a message?
No.
No. Very good. The pauses are long.
He wouldn't have sold his car if he hadn't lost his job.
Okay,
He wouldn't have bought no, not bought.
Okay.
Sold. Wouldn't have sold his car if he hadn't lost his job.
All right, let's confirm this by listening again.
He wouldn't have sold his car if he hadn't lost his job.
He wouldn't have sold his car if he hadn't lost his job.
That's it. Fine.
4.
Yes.
If I hadn't been so tired, I'd have gone out last night.
السنة بصير يعاود بس الأخيرة.
Okay.
المين.
If I hadn't been so tired, I'd have gone out last night.
If I hadn't been so tired, I would have gone out last night.
Very nice. Correct.
5. If he hadn't moved to New York, he wouldn't have met his wife.
If he hadn't moved to New York, he wouldn't have met his wife.
Okay, let's confirm this again.
If he hadn't moved to New York, he wouldn't have met his wife.
He hadn't moved to New York, he wouldn't have met his wife.
Yes, correct. I just remembered a funny memory. I remember when I was in 5th grade, I think, or 6th grade. I remember my father had some very old grammar books from the 90s when he was studying in the UK and taking language courses. And some of the exercises weren't answered, so I was answering them. So when I looked at some of my answers, and of course back then I didn't know what third conditional was or any of that. I just answered. And all of these, all of the haves, you know how I answered them? I answered them writing of. I said I used to write I wouldn't of, because I'm used to hearing it. So I know it sounds like of, but I never thought it was, I never thought it was actually have. So I used to answer it like that. I wouldn't of, and I would of. And it was a bit funny when I saw it later. And then I knew that, of course, it's not of, it's have. But because the sound, it sounds like of. It's almost the same when they talk. So it's a little tricky getting used to it. But once you get used to it, your brain starts doing it normally, I think. But in the beginning, it can be a little tricky. Okay, so no need to do number 7. Number 6 was the important one. قصة الcontraction هي I'd, I had, وقصة الهave, having. That's important. Number 7, we can skip this. All right, number 8. And now let's go back to the grammar question itself. So let me take you. So of course we need to apply the rules that we have in number 5. We want to use them to answer number 8.
Noisy.
Sorry?
Where did this noise come from?
It comes from here. Let me close the window. Someone in the street, fireworks. Okay, just a second.
حسب احتياط الصراحة.
No, it's really noisy. Much noisier than just a sneeze.
نحسب الحق حسابك انت قاعده تقعد السنه فاتت تكمل واحده يرحمك الله.
Thank you. Do I have such a noisy sneeze?
انا بالنسبه لي انا نعطس بصوتي عالي لما نعطس لكن
يا امي عندها 8 عطسات ورا بعض.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Is this normal? Does she always sneeze like that 8 times?
Yeah. Yeah. العيلة كلها أمي وأخوالي كلهم 6 7 لازم. يعني كان ما تعرف روحك. كان
So strange.
كان مش 7 ورا بعض وما كملتش معنا. ما تقولهاش يرحمك الله.
Yeah, so weird.
هي تقعد صحني counting.
But does she have allergies or something? Or
No.
It's
normal.
just normal.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Okay. All right. Now here, number 8. Here, what we want to do is just use the third condition. That's all. We just want to apply the rule. That's all I think. Now, number 2. Okay, Brian, read number 1 and do number 2, please.
Okay. If her friend hadn't introduced them, they wouldn't have met.
All right, number 2.
She had become a serious athlete.
Take your time.
She would have She would have become a serious athlete if she had came last night.
All right. Let's first of all start with the main clause, okay? So she'd have where is it? She'd have become is the verb. Okay. So she'd have become a serious athlete if she
had.
Yes, she'd. And what's the past participle of come?
Came.
Came. Came is the past simple. It's a weird verb. You have to go back to come again. So sentence doesn't make very much sense. It's grammatically correct, but I don't get how she'd have become a serious athlete if she'd come last.
Yeah.
ايه ما ركبتش بكل في الدماغ.
رغم انها نحويا صح انت درت هيك لكن
ايه
I think ممكن ناسين النوت. Maybe هي المفروض تكون negative هم نسوا في exercise not. Maybe they forgot not.
ايه
She'd have become a serious athlete if she hadn't. I think المفروض كان hadn't. صح ولا؟ If she hadn't come last. Let's leave it, but you answered, you used the rule correctly. That's what we want. We'll come back to this. All right, number 3 now.
If the agency hadn't got into financial trouble, he wouldn't have started his own business.
Right. If the agency hadn't got into financial trouble, he wouldn't have started. He wouldn't have. Right. Yeah, I think it's not ناسين النوت لأن الموضوع كله على قصة أنثوني and what's her name, Juliet, Michelle. Remember the ones we did in the listening, how Anthony lost his job and became a freelancer, and how Michelle used to get in trouble, but because of running. Do you remember this one, this part? أعتقد مبني الإكسرسايز على قصتهم Anthony and Michelle and Carol. Do you remember, Noha?
Yeah.
So this means if the age, this means let's change it into negative, okay? This doesn't make sense.
Related to the images, ولا
Yeah, exactly. It's related to the image and to exercise number 3 and 4. Listening اللي درناه المرة اللي فاتت.
Yeah.
So if she hadn't, this means if she hadn't come, if she hadn't come last. I think this makes sense. All right, number 4, Brahim.
He would have stayed in London if he hadn't lost his job.
Right, but I'd like you to contract the he and the would. Correctly, قلتها صح. Just contract it. The he would.
ايه انا غير النطق بس ما تشدش معي.
Okay, give it a try.
He'd have stayed in London. يمكن.
باي الهيد درتها صح لكن الها بديرها اف.
He'd have.
ايوه.
He'd have stayed in London. If
باقي عادية لأنها negative. He hadn't lost. So he'd have stayed. All right, last one.
If he had gone back to Boston, he wouldn't have seen her again.
Correct. If he'd gone back to Boston, if he'd gone back to Boston, he wouldn't have seen her again. All right. Now, of course, here they want us to match these sentences to the people. I think this is quite easy, right? So the one about the athlete, of course, this is Michelle, right? So this is is it A, B, C? I don't know. Yeah, it's photo C. This is photo B. Anthony is B. Where's A? I'm A. Yeah. Carol and Owen.
Yeah.
All right, let's just write the names. So Number 2, it's Michelle. Number 3, Anthony. What about number 4?
number هذه صورة image Carol and and when Owen.
Carol and Owen. Do you think it's Carol and Owen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And number 5?
Here again حتى هو
I think number 4 is Anthony, because remember Anthony bought a house in the countryside because he left London. Remember when he lost his job?
Yep.
Yeah, but you're right.
His job, yeah.
Yeah,
he didn't lose his job.
Exactly.
So 5
Carol and Owen.
Carol and Owen.
Yeah. So Owen is the guy who stayed in London, and then they got married. Okay. All right. Okay. So fair enough. Now let's take a look here at number 9. It's a little noisy now. I think the kids are having a fight.
It's not.
It's Ibrahim.
Yeah.
It was not.
Not me.
Yeah, Ibrahim.
تو نكلم خوي هي شوي.
Do you have a kindergarten or something?
ولاد خالي قاعدين عندنا خوي متكفل بهم.
Yeah.
Okay.
شوية بس.
Okay, so here number 9 says write third conditionals. All right, this is kind of interesting. It's like someone who regrets something and you're making it worse for him. So number 1, it says, I overslept, so I was late for work. So the third conditional solution, it's not really a solution, it's more of a mean comment. If I hadn't overslept, I wouldn't have been late for work. Okay, if you're talking about yourself, it's fine. But I think if you do it to someone else, if you say, if you hadn't overslept, you wouldn't have been late for work, right? The third conditional, it's very mean. It's like someone is telling you, I made a mistake, and you're adding insult to injury. I don't know if you know this expression. To add insult to injury. Insult to add insult to injury. هذا احنا نقوله يزيد الطين بلع. To add insult.
What's the meaning of insult?
Insult, like when you insult someone, when you call someone stupid. Yeah, إهانة, insult.
Insult مش فيها مش you. الرايتنج بتاعها لا. Insult A-U لا insult.
I'll check.
S-A-U لا.
I think it's like this, but I'll check. Let's take a look. Insult. No, it's like this. It's with a U. I think maybe you're talking about assault.
Yeah.
Assault. You're thinking about assault. Like this. Assault. Assault.
Yeah, I mixed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I confused.
قاعد.
It's a little. لا ممكن حتى مش عارف هيك كتبتها غلط. AU. Let me take a look. Is it AU? Assault. Yeah. AU. Assault.
هل في صوت قاعد ولا؟
It's okay. If the door is closed, I think it's usually okay.
Yeah.
هو الباب مسكر كان من بكري كان مسكر.
ما شاء الله.
Yeah, maybe they're
لا زوز صغار.
And they're fighting near the door, maybe.
لا بالعكس. بعد.
Interesting. All right, assault, insult. All right, now, so here, Ibrahim, what we're doing is just sort of writing third conditionals for these situations. So here you did something wrong, or someone else did something wrong. Not did something wrong, it just something happened that can't be taken back. So you're just writing the third condition. So take a look at number 1. Can you read number 1, please? Right.
Number 1 هي. I overslept, so I was late for work.
Yeah, this
if I hadn't.
Yeah, go ahead.
هذا اللي نقرأه.
Yeah, بالضبط صح كمل.
If I hadn't overslept, I wouldn't have been late for work.
Right. you get what's happening here? So you have the real situation that actually happened, and now you're just sort of you're philosophizing, right? You're thinking of something.
نحولها للثيرد conditional.
Yeah. All right, let's do number 2. Try to do number 2 then.
Hey. They got lost because they didn't take a map. They wouldn't have been lost if they had
I think this needs writing to make that easy.
taken a map.
Good. But I think you forgot something. Can you repeat it, please?
حطيت الولد هاف وحطيت شنو اسمه الهاد والباست participle.
عدلتها الهاد.
taken. Yeah. Taken.
Yeah. If they wouldn't have been lost. I'm going to just write what you said. If they شنو درت بعد they?
They wouldn't have been lost if they had taken.
Correct. Now, I don't know why you use been. It's okay. عادي ماشي حالها لكن هو كان عندك الverb. What's the original verb you had?
أنا ما كنت نشبح اللي فوق مرة واحدة
Okay, so what's the verb that they used before lost?
Got.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Noha, next one.
If Roberta hadn't been exhausted, she would have gone out.
That's it. Roberta hadn't been so exhausted. She wouldn't. She would have gone out. All right, next one, Brian.
Paul was ill, so she didn't. Paula was ill, so she didn't go to school. If Paula hadn't been ill.
That's correct. That's correct.
She would have gone.
صح.
Gone to school.
صح. She would have gone to school. ولا been school. Should have been school. ما عاد gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Went to school.
No, can't use went. Went is past.
Past.
Yeah. We can only use the perfect. She'd have gone. Yeah. All right. Next one.
Kevin wouldn't have got the breast if his wife hadn't left him.
So Kevin wouldn't have got depressed if his wife hadn't left him. Okay, last one, right?
I would have called you if I hadn't lost my phone.
Right. But now let's read them with with the right pronunciation, using the contractions and the weak forms. Now they're all correct. Okay, I'd like you to give them a try, Brent, all of them from the beginning.
Okay. They
Sorry, just a second.
wouldn't.
Let me. And I'm just going to contract them first.
Okay.
فنكتبهم كامل. Yeah, now it's okay.
They wouldn't have got lost if they'd taken a map.
Okay, and this one, when we the weak form, how do we say it?
They wouldn't have got lost.
They wouldn't have got lost.
ايه
Not wouldn't have. Wouldn't have.
ايه ما قلتش اعطيتهاش لتش.
Okay. All right, okay. Next one, go ahead.
If Roberta hadn't been exhausted, she would have gone out.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
If Paula hadn't been ill, she would have gone to school.
Okay.
Kevin wouldn't have got depressed if his wife hadn't left him.
Mhm.
I would have called you if I hadn't lost my phone. I would have
Okay.
called you if I hadn't.
All right, okay. Not bad. It's okay. Naha, could you give this a try?
You wrote them, okay?
Sorry?
Right?
Yeah, all of them, please. And try to contract everything. And the have is only in the weak form.
They wouldn't have got lost if they'd taken a make.
Map. I don't know why that.
Map. Okay.
Yeah.
If Roberta hadn't been exhausted, she'd have gone out.
Nice.
If Paula hadn't been ill, she would have gone to school. Kevin wouldn't have got depressed if his wife hadn't left him. I would have called you if I hadn't lost my phone.
Okay. So let me give it a try. So the first one, they wouldn't have got lost if they'd taken a map. If Roberta hadn't been exhausted, she'd have gone out. If Paula hadn't been ill, she'd have gone to school. Kevin wouldn't have got depressed if his wife hadn't let him. I'd have called you if I hadn't lost my phone. Okay. All right, so this is how we can make the third conditional, how we should read it. Think of 3 more important moments. We don't need to do 3. Let's just do 1, okay? And let's use third conditionals here. Let's make the examples a little dramatic. Now, choose any of these topics. Something which happened and which lots of changes sort of resulted from this event. And now you're going to use a third conditional. Do you get the idea?
Okay.
And choose any of these categories. People you've met, places you've visited, exams you've taken, having children, getting or losing jobs, choosing what to study. And you can base it on something similar to this, to number 9. So you can just say the event and the result of the event, and then you can build a third conditional based on this event.
When you want something like this, you can't recall anything.
Okay, I'll think of something. Okay, this is a kind of a true example.
Okay. I think I got
go
something.
ahead. Go ahead.
If I had been accepted in, let's say, in linguistic college, I wouldn't have studied engineering.
And let's say the English department.
Yeah.
اللغات, the English department. I wouldn't have. Is this a real example?
Yeah.
So strange. Why wouldn't they accept you?
Yeah.
You remember the الثانوية العامة?
أدبي and علمي.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting example. If I'd been accepted in the English department, I wouldn't have studied engineering.
لكن هرب التغيير.
Yeah, because أنا يعني من الأول جاي القائمة متاعي جيت في الهندسة يعني. قريت فيها ولكن مش not interested really interested وبالذات جابوني في البتروليوم انجينير زيادة مرة واحدة. really not interested لكن حاولت نمشي للعلوم حتى هو معدلي كان كويس فسبحان الله كمبيوتر ساينس ما بوش ياخدوا حتى هم مع أن معدلي كان أعلى من اللي هم يطلبوا فيه. وبعدين حاولت إن اللغات لا ما هو أنت خريجة علمي ما هو ثانوية عامة ما هو امتحان قبول وبرا في القصة بيضيع مني سنين وأنا استنى في wasting time يعني زي مني ممكن أكثر من سنة. خليت في مجالي وخلاص. يعني I'm not really regret what I did because I found it very useful for my children now. I can I don't need to pay for private teacher. So I made use of it.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
If life hands you lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, this is a very nice example. Okay, Brahim, give us something like this, something critical in your life.
If I hadn't taken my math exam, I would have passed the شنو يقولوا المادة بالإنجليزي يعني.
I would have passed the semester maybe.
Yeah.
Or material,
maybe subject. But if I hadn't had, what's the example? Can you repeat it? If I hadn't
had my math exam.
had انت درت الامتحان ولا ما درتاش؟
انا درته.
باي كيف تقدر تفوت السمستر لو ما درتاش؟
ما احنا هي الفكرة.
يعني
نقدر نقدم إعادة طلب الامتحان.
If I hadn't done.
done ممكن حتى taken يمشي الحال ماشي الحال.
taken yeah.
لا زوز صح زوز ماشيات مع الإكزام. If I haven't taken my math exam. math exam I would have شو كان يكون يصير I would have
pass
I would have passed I would have passed the semester semester maybe
ولا المادة
or I would have cleared the subject matter terms of
or the course
ممكن I would have passed the semester I'd have cleared the subject maybe or I'd have passed I'd have taken another exam I'd have cleared ممكن احتمال ثاني
مش حيخلوك تدير امتحان ثاني
I have passed the course. Interesting. If I hadn't done, or if I hadn't taken my math exam, I'd have passed the semester, or I'd have cleared the subject. I'd have passed the course. Yeah, this is the idea of the third condition. I think it's kind of clear by now. Okay, so let's move on. Let's check what we have here. We have a little bit of vocab, listening. There's nothing specific, I think, here. Weak form, stress. Okay.
شو على اليونت الأخيرة ونتفوها هيك ولد تحسوا كنا.
جاب الدرس الأخير أعطوه حاجة صعبة هالباك.
Yeah وحتى يعني ABC بس ما فيهاش دي هي.
Yeah, there's no D. قبل في D.
No ما فيش دي. قبل في دي.
في D قبل.
في كل يونت في دي ABCD كل يونت.
the D لكن كان زي real life يعني هذا real world.
No.
صح في D
في دي
لكن ال D دي ما يعطي فيه زي conversation زي اللي هو spoken English أكثر تركيز conversation كذا. لكن في دي مضبوطة كل درس كل يونت فاصلة دي. Yeah. All right. So let's see superheroes. All right. How interested are you in superheroes, Brian? Who's your favorite? Do you like superheroes?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Yeah, Batman.
You like Batman? I think most boys like Batman.
He's really strategic. ما هو الستراتيجي بتاعه it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I used to love Batman when I was a kid, but Spider-Man too. I liked Spider-Man as well. Superman not so much. I think Superman is a little too old-fashioned. Maybe the older generation, they maybe like him.
I think he's the first. Actually, I think he's the first superhero ever made.
Yeah, he's the first one. All right, okay. So let's talk a little bit about Spider-Man. So here it says, look at the photo. What superpowers does he have? I think this is a little too easy for you, Brian. Let's try Noah. Maybe Noah is not very interested. So let's see. What do you think? What are Spider-Man's superpowers now?
He can walk on the walls.
Kind of, yeah. He can walk on walls. Yeah, true.
And make long jumps.
Correct. So he can make jumps and leaps. What else do you think he can do?
Pull something with the spider lines or spider wires.
With his webs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can pull stuff. Correct. Do you know about his spidey sense? Spidey sense.
What?
Yeah, he's famous for having his. It's called the spidey sense, right?
Yeah.
We're comic nerds, Ibrahim and I. Spidey sense, it's like his sixth sense. So before danger happens, he's like aware of danger before it happens. He has this. His high sense of. It's just one of his powers. He can feel danger before it happens. Just like animals have this sense, this kind of anticipation. So there's also, of course, this is part of his character and comic. Anyways, have you seen any of Spider-Man's films? I think for Ibrahim and I, this is definitely yes. But no, have you seen any Spider-Man films?
Yeah, the first one.
The first one. Yeah.
What
did you think of it? Did you like it? Or did you like them? Or you just saw once? Did you like the first one?
I like it but it's a bit tragedy when he lost his I don't know foster father or his father. I don't know who's
his parents. Yeah, but this is I think this is an archetypal part of all superheroes. All of them are orphans. They all have a problem with their parents. It's part of their how they write the characters.
Yeah, It was
Yeah.
very, very sad.
Mhm. Okay. Any other superheroes you know about? Uh-huh.
Cartoon, yeah. I watch the cartoon because I have to. I'm forced to do. Always
Yeah.
turned on the cartoons because of my children. So I know Batman.
Mhm.
What else? Spider-Man. Maybe
The-
Ben 10 if you if you like.
Who?
Eh,
Which
Ben
one?
10.
Ben 10.
Ben 10.
Benton. I don't know that one. Who's that? Who's
Ben
Benton?
10.
He's on Cartoon
Oh,
Network.
boy that can no, not just
Transforms to an
network.
aliens.
NBC3 also.
It's been so long I haven't seen
Boy who
television.
can transform to an aliens.
No, that one
Aliens.
is new. I don't know about him. Okay, okay. And yeah, Ibrahim.
Yeah, غير بنقول he has like 5 seasons, I mean.
Mhm.
But the first 3 were quite good actually.
Well,
There was
can you
يعني
give me the spelling?
يعني
Ben.
BEN Ben.
Ben.
But هذه 10.
Ben 10. Okay.
Ben
Yeah.
Okay, here it is in Google. Ben. I think I've seen I've seen. I haven't seen any
Watch, yeah.
episodes, but I, looks familiar. Ben 10.
And the story متاعها actually it's good, but it's just for children, so they need to make it for children.
Yeah. Ben 10. Yeah, I think I've seen so he looks familiar, but I haven't seen any episodes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure you know who this is, Brian.
Yeah, Stan Lee, yeah.
Yeah.
He passed away, yeah.
Do you know this guy? Have you
No.
seen him? All right. Can you guess who he is?
He's an actor, ولا?
He actually
Yes, and now.
he has cameo roles. He appears quickly in most of his movies. He's actually the author and the writer of Spider-Man.
Oh,
Yeah. He actually died last year. Was it Ibrahim, or this year? The beginning.
I think last year.
Yeah, I think at the end of last year. He just passed
Yeah,
away.
because they made like 3 movies without him.
Yeah.
As I remember, yeah.
He's the author of Spider-Man, and in most Spider-Man movies, he usually appears in a small role, like a bus driver or someone in the subway or someone on a train. يعني أدوار هيك على المشي يطلع فيها يحط في روحه.
Yeah.
So this is the guy who wrote the Spider-Man story. Anyway, so now let's listen a little bit about him. We're going to learn a little bit about Stan Lee's life, I think. So listen to an interview with the writer Robin Baker. All right, so he's going to talk about these topics from A to E. We're going to learn a little bit about superheroes and Spider-Man and Stan Lee.
Hello and welcome to the programme. Stories of superheroes have entertained us for nearly 80 years. And one of the most popular of these is Spider-Man. Today I'm talking to the author Robin Baker, whose new book, Superhero, tells the story of Spider-Man's creator, Stan Lee. Welcome to the programme, Robin.
Thank you.
Robin, what can you tell us about Stan Lee's early life?
His name was Stanley Lieber, and he started working for a company called Timely Comics when he was 16. 20 years later, the company, which was now called Marvel Comics, was almost broke. So Lee was asked to invent some new superheroes.
Which characters did he create?
First, he created a comic called The Fantastic Four, which was very successful and saved the company. This was followed by The Incredible Hulk, the X-Men, and then Spider-Man.
Where did the idea for Spider-Man come from?
Well, according to Stan Lee himself, he was in his office trying to come up with a superpower for a new character he'd just created. While he was sitting there, he was watching a fly walking up a wall. Then he thought, wouldn't it be great if my character could walk up walls like an insect? So Spider-Man was born. Actually, he nearly called him Insect Man.
Really?
Yes, but he thought it just didn't sound right. Then he tried Crawling Man, Mosquito Man, and then finally Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man was rather different to earlier superheroes, wasn't he?
Yes, absolutely. The character, Peter Parker, who's Spider-Man, of course, was a typical young guy. He had problems with girls. He missed appointments. He couldn't pay the rent, that kind of thing. So, even though he had these amazing superpowers, he was still a normal guy with all the problems young people usually have.
How did he get his superpowers?
Well, in the original comic, Peter Parker was bitten by a radioactive spider at a science museum. This gave him his super strength and his spider sense, which is his ability to sense danger. And, of course, he can also climb up the sides of buildings, which is very useful.
As we've all seen in the films.
Yes, indeed. And a funny little fact is Stan Lee often appeared in his characters' movies, usually as a hot dog seller.
Robin, thanks very much for coming in to talk to us today.
My pleasure.
Okay. All right, so let's just put these in order. So what's the first thing they discussed?
Maybe D.
Yeah.
Character movies.
I'm not sure.
I think A, because he talked about
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, Hulk.
Other comics he wrote first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think A is the right one. Okay, number 2. What's the second thing they covered?
How Spider-Man got his name.
Yeah, correct.
Then B
B, maybe.
is different
Yeah, B.
here.
Correct.
No, B, because E is number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he talked about how he got them. And then how about
The hot dog man, yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right, so I think we can also answer the second part of the questions. So are these true or false from what we just heard? So let's see. Stan Lee's comic, The Fantastic Four saved his company. Is this true or false?
Spider-Man. False.
What do you think, Mark?
I don't know.
What about number 2? He thought of the idea of Spider-Man when he saw a spider walking up the wall.
False. A fly.
Yeah. What about number 3?
Spider-Man was
No,
the
false.
first name. No, the crawling man.
Yeah. Number 4?
Spider-Man doesn't have problems. He does. False.
Yeah. Number 5?
He got his superpowers when he's bitten by a radioactive spider.
But was it a spider or something else?
Spider, eh?
radioactive spider. نعرفش هل يفرق في الإجابة ولا لا.
نوع زعمتها من السبايدر لكن still a spider.
Yeah, it's still a spider. We can say it's correct, but it's not any spider.
Yeah.
Rahim, you do have a point. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Define.
It's a
Stanley
strange.
is usually a newspaper seller. No, he's
No.
false.
False.
ما فيش usually.
He's usually a hot dog seller, not a newspaper seller.
في كل فيلم شكل مرة librarian مرة bus driver زي ما قلت مرة.
Yeah, he changes. Yeah.
بتاع فيدكس كل مرة شيء.
True. The first one is actually true. It's the Fantastic Four that saved the company in the beginning of the in the beginning of the interview, because they mentioned it and the company wasn't wasn't doing well, so he wrote the Fantastic Four.
لكن مرة قعدت نتفرج على فيديو لما اخترع سبايدر مان ما كانش هذاك الوقت تقريبا ما كانش فيه مارفل.
Yeah, but it wasn't called Marvel. ولا Marvel بعدين اسمها. لكن الماجازين it was called Timely Magazine.
بالضبط.
Yeah, but Spider-Man wasn't his first character. وكانت الشركة أمورها مش منيحة يعني. Until he wrote the Fantastic Four, this helped a bit. The X-Men, the Incredible Hulk, and then Spider-Man. Even the X-Men are quite interesting, actually, if you think of that.
Yeah.
He's got a great imagination, I think.
Yeah. يعني.
Okay. So this is just some information about Stanley. Now, sentence stress. Let's see if we can skip this. I think we might. Yeah, I think we can skip this, right? So of course, if it's a conjunction or mark the stressed word and circle the weak forms. I have a better idea. Why don't we just go to the next conversation now? Shall we skip it? What do you think? Let's take a vote. Naha, Brahim, what do you think?
Yeah, skip it.
Yeah, لأنه مش حتى جزء ثاني من the conversation. It's the same conversation. They just want us to listen again and pay attention to this stress. I think it's not necessary. All right, now here they want us to look at the photo on page 99. What is the man doing? Why is he doing this, do you think? Let's take a look at the man.
Climbing the sides of the wall of the buildings.
Yeah, I read about this man. He's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it real, man?
He's real. He's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, just read about him after the lesson. The guy is crazy. He's nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah. And he usually gets arrested, actually.
Yeah,
they usually arrest him because it's illegal, of course, to do it. Anyways, let's read about him. So it says, I think they want us to guess, why is he doing this? Very good question. Why is he doing this? What do you think?
no idea. Because thrilling, maybe.
Seeking the popularity.
Yeah, he's looking for attention. I think it's a part of it, maybe. And just look at him. No equipment, no ropes, no nothing. Just just some chalk. It's absurd. And just
out of his fingers muscles, they're really strong.
Yeah. Okay. So it says here, before you read, let's check these words. I think the words are clear, right? Comma, a rope, equipment, skyscraper. Nothing new in this list. All right, now let's read about Alain. I think he's French. Alain Robert. I don't know. Probably pronounce it something like that. Match these topics to the paragraphs. All right. A childhood adventure, the real Spider-Man, danger and police, a terrible fall, why he likes climbing, 3 amazing climbs. So it seems that we're going to match the paragraphs to these headlines, if we want to call them headlines. So this means we need to read first, okay? So just read these first four paragraphs. When you reach the fourth one, just let me know and I'll scroll down, okay? Okay, I'll be back just a second. Okay. Have you finished?
Yeah. آخر حاجة hospital ولا؟
No, we still have 2 other paragraphs.
أوكي ما شوية بس. Yeah, done.
Okay. Noah, have you finished?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's try to do the first part here. What about the paragraphs? So number 1, heading B, the real Spider-Man. This is for paragraph 1. Paragraph 2, what do you think is the best match?
Paragraph 2A.
I think it's better if we, just a second.
Childhood adventure.
Yeah, let me show them both pages next to each other.
أيوة.
It's a little better. All right. So, childhood adventure. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it talks about when he was. And this happened when he was 12. So when he was 12, he climbed 8 stories, 8 floors.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means? 8
لأن
floors.
الناس المفتاح.
8 floors تعرف معناها زي عمارات زاوية 8 دوك 12. You know the so 8 floors, and he was just 12. He's quite crazy.
Yeah.
From an early age. مش حتى دور واحد ولا 2 8. So this is a
زاوية دهماني 9 أدوار.
9 مش 12. I thought it was 12.
No 9.
9 معناها شبه العمارة كلها ركبها وعمرها 12 سنة.
كلها قريبة.
إيه.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So now C, danger and police. Which paragraphs?
4.
Yeah, about getting arrested. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what he does is illegal. Mm-hmm. All right. A terrible fall. Let me write
3.
3. Correct. Yeah. He stayed in a coma for 5 days.
5 days. Yeah.
All right. Why he likes climbing? Which one talks about why he likes climbing?
4.
6.
I think it's 6. Yeah.
Yes, climbing is a form of.
Then 4 he has been arrested.
6 is the one about why he likes climbing.
Yeah.
And the last one is 3 amazing climbs. 5. Yeah. I think it's
5. Yeah.
I didn't
Burj
know.
Khalifa.
Yeah, I didn't know about Burj Khalifa. I didn't know about that. I knew about other buildings, but this
شفت
one.
أنا تقريبا أتذكر في التلفزيون.
Wow,
imagine.
Yeah. وكيف
أنا لما
طبوه
نشوف فيهم
فرحان.
هذا في التلفزيون نحس فيهم يكذبوا نحس فيها زي تمثيلية أصلا. بدأت هذوك اللي يقفزوا بالمطوات مرات من مبنى لمبنى واضحة. It seems fake.
لا موطو صعبة شوية، لكن في واحد في فرنسا طبوه يركب فوق المباني العالية وينقز بالباراشوت مثلا.
yeah.
لكن الفكرة بتاع هذا باش أنا ما نصدقش فيه، بنشوفه في التلفزيون يعني من مبنى لمبنى بالموت وتحسها.
في رياضة هي يتكعبيش والجو هذا اسمها باركور.
لكن في شفت documentary. I've seen a documentary about a bunch of friends, or they weren't teenager, but they're a group of people who
seek danger, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, they climb the highest buildings and walk on the edges.
Yeah, the I think they're from Russia. I don't know.
Yeah.
I read about them. Yeah, it's kind of an addiction to, I think, adrenaline and the rush.
Yeah, adrenaline addiction. Yeah.
Okay, so here we have a few questions, general questions. Why did he climb up the side of the building where his family lived when he was 12? Why did he do that?
Where his family lived. Began climbing a cliff where he lived. Friends one day were okay.
It's about the keys, right? Because he forgot his keys.
Yeah, it was about the keys.
Yeah, he'd forgotten his keys and he went back to pick them.
Yeah.
All right, and why were the doctors wrong? And what did the doctors say?
لما قالوا له أنت ما عادش حتقدر won't be able to climb again.
Yeah, and of course they were very wrong.
He would never climb again. Alan was back on mountain after only 6 months.
Yeah.
Correct.
And why is his style of climbing so dangerous?
Okay. He enjoyed, because he enjoyed doing what seemed impossible.
Okay, but there's something specific about his type of climbing that's very dangerous. What is it, Brian?
Admit that danger is part of the attraction.
Okay. Yeah, go up 2 or 3 sentences.
صوت كويس.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Well, he usually climbs to that.
Did you find it?
Which paragraph?
4. Brahim.
Yeah, 4.
Why is his style of climbing so dangerous?
Because he climbs without a rope or protective equipment.
That's it. Because even professional climbers, the ones you see on mountains, they always have ropes. Most rock climbers, the one who climb mountains, they usually have safety features. You know, they use like hangers and very strong ropes. They don't climb like this, but this guy, he just climbs. So it's very dangerous what he does. One slip and...
No, قالك he's always very careful. مين قال careful؟
مالك أنا careless إيش نحال هذا؟
هذا قالك إيه؟ cruelest هدية.
I think he's reckless but careful at the same time. If you think of it.
Reckless, yeah.
Because and doing what he does, one mistake and it's the end. Because 15 meters.
Actually.
Because when he went into a coma, he fell 15 meters. So 15 meters is usually each floor is about 3 meters roughly. Okay, so 15 meters is maybe 5 floors, 4 floors, حاجة زي كده يعني. عادة كل دور هو تقريبا about 3 meters.
Maybe, yeah, he should, yeah, he should be.
Yeah, he should be very, very careful.
He has to, yeah, he has to be very focused. Yeah,
exactly. I think focused is the right.
بطح من لما دور.
It didn't say which floor. It just said 15 meters. هذا خشاته في كوما.
5 أدوار. إيه.
It's about 5 أدوار هيك يجوا هيك يعني.
3 أدوار. 15 meters.
15 3.
5 أدوار
أعتقد كل دور حوالي 3 هو في العادة.
إيه.
على الأقل في بنينا إحنا يعني في ليبيا ديما I think about 30 about 3 حسب ما مرة.
82.
Yeah. All right. And what did he do for the first? Why does he get usually arrested? I think this is clear because he climbs without permission, and it's illegal, of course. What did he do for the first Spider-Man movie? What did he do?
He climbed the tall skyscraper in Venezuela wearing the Spider-Man costume.
Venezuela.
Yeah. And number 6, what happened after he climbed the Jinmao building in Shanghai? What happened to him?
Jinmao building
Jinmao building in Shanghai again, just a Spider-Man.
Yeah, Shanghai.
He arrested and held in prison for 5 days.
Yeah, so he was arrested for 5 days. And why does he climb? I think it's the 6th paragraph here.
Yeah.
So why?
It gives him a sense of
relaxation.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's relaxing.
Yeah.
He has
يبدأ مركز في
adrenaline addictive actually.
Yeah. He has a different neural system, maybe different brain. And
هي مرات تركب في هذيك الفوانية ولا هذيك الحاجة اللي تزلق فيك تحس روحك قريب تنطع في البحر مو ما تكمل اللعبة.
Exactly, but it's
مرات الخوف يدير العكس راهو بدل ما يخليك هيك فوكس وكذا يدير العكس يعني خليك بتنتحر.
Yeah, maybe after the coma and after he fell, it changed him maybe. But he's a very interesting. I'm very interested in these people because they're good. They're good at what they do. This is one thing.
Yeah. وما عندهش الرهاب نتاع الحاجات العالية.
And at the same time, they don't harm anybody else. So it's like a win-win situation. They're just interesting, I think.
ما عندهمش الرهاب أصلاً جنرال برا أغلبهم ناس اللي يديروا هيك تلقاهم Western people. You won't find such a thing happy in Arabic countries because fears it's something يعني something you acquire من الانvironment بتاعك يعني acquired يعني
تكتسبها يعني خلاص.
تكتسبها اكتساب مش حاجة تولد بها وهم ما يخوفوش بالصغار عندهم صغار عائلة ينقز احنا هنا يديروا له جريمة كان مستطيع كان كذا.
we react differently.
هم ما يعدلوش عيل يلعب بالتراب عيل يركب على السور ينقز عادي يعني ما
في النهاية حتى عندهم
احنا يعني كل شيء يقولوا يهددوا في الطفل انه تو تحمي تو
قمع.
يبدأ يخوفوا فيه يحسوا فيه إنه هو يدير في حاجة كبيرة يعني إن كل شيء مهدد للحياة everything is like threatened يعني
everything is bad, everything is dangerous.
so ما تسمحهاش يعني ما يحسس ما يرهبش الطفل. إحنا هنا يرهبوا في الطفل.
حتى اللي يقولوا خالة ديما محشي في التلفزيون.
حتى باش يرقد يخوفوا فيه يعني.
True,
جيك الغولة.
أيوة.
إبراهيم يفكر في روحه أيام يصدق قصة الغولة. But I think there's also also something else. I think maybe it's also cultural. I think it's the issue of perfectionism and excellence. And here in our culture, there isn't a lot of emphasis on excellence or this kind of competitive excellence.
Yeah.
For example, I'm sure that lots of Libyan kids here, if we take a large group of 1,000 kids, 12 years old, and we tell them to climb, I'm sure from that 1,000 we'll have at least 1 or 2 who are very good and can easily climb نقولوا مثلا 5 stories, right? But this is never encouraged. To get the idea, يعني قلت بيديروا لهم إرهاب أنا إيش دير كذا. So it'll be quickly. There's nothing to encourage them to do these abnormal things.
حتى على نطاقهم الضيق يعني مستحيل. هو بدأ من هو صغير يتسلق في الكليفز.
Yeah, cliffs and mountains.
هذه حاجة مستحيلة هنا إن يخلوا طفل يدير هيك الوالدين يعني مثلا. Yeah, very protective.
True, yeah.
Very protective.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or not, being overprotective.
Overprotective, nothing. It's not a good thing because it's tie children down, tie the skills, the gifts down.
Yeah, they call it helicopter parenting, and many psychologists actually have spoken against it. Helicopter parenting. This is the kind of parenting where the parents want to control the kids. They can't do anything. They can't hurt themselves. They can't go out. Everything is not allowed. Everything is. And the child grows up to be too fragile. They can't handle stress when they get older. They're very anxious.
They see.
Yeah, and there's actually a psychologist, very interesting psychologist. He's talking about this newer generation of Americans. He's American. He's talking about the differences between kids who grew up in the 70s and the 80s and kids who grew up in the late 2000s, 2000 and 2010.
Also, the same. You can say the same or not the same. It's about the same in our country. Parents 15 maybe years ago don't choose to be like this. Didn't used to be like parents now.
Yeah.
Because, children used to play and jump and do whatever. I won't say parents were careless, but
they gave more space maybe to kids.
Yeah, much space, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have to sympathize with parents because it's a very horrible time to raise kids. War and crime, and even unless a kid has their grandparents' house, their cousin's house, things like this, it's very hard for a parent to convince them to let their kids play on the street, for example, right? It's a little, I don't know, it's a little difficult now. So they say, what if they kidnap my kid? What if some crazy.
Maybe because even circumstances has been changed.
The local situation isn't as good as it used to be. I'm against this kind of controlling behavior myself, but at the same time, it's difficult for kids to enjoy a proper childhood as they used to 20 years ago or 25 or whatever. Okay. So here we have some vocabulary. This is nice and simple, I think. It's basically just word families trying to pull out words from each other. So, and all of the words are, of course, in the article, but I think we can do it even without checking. So, of course, here the verb is to disappoint. The noun is disappointing. The noun is disappointment. The adjective is disappointed, if it's a person. If you're talking about the situation, you can say disappointing. Now, what about enjoyment? What's the verb?
Enjoy.
Enjoy, yeah, it's quite easy. What about protect, protection? What's the adjective? What's a parent?
Protectable.
Protective.
Yes. We were just talking about protective parents. Protective. All right. Now we have care as a verb, to take care, to care. The noun care. Of course, we need the opposite
Careful.
of careless. Careful. All right. Now we have attract, the noun.
Attraction.
Attraction. Right. And then we have preference. Prefer.
Preference.
No, you're right. Prefer is the verb. صح, Brian. Prefer is the verb. The noun is preference and the adjective is preferable. All right. So we have entertain is the verb. What's the noun?
Entertainment.
Entertainment is correct. Entertainment. And relax, what's the noun? Relaxation. Relaxation. All right, so this particular table is sort of very straightforward. It's quite easy. But the skill itself, this is very, very important later, especially if you're focusing on academic English. This ability to easily extract nouns from verbs, from adjectives, from adverbs, it's a very, very, very useful skill, especially when you want to paraphrase, or especially when you want to paraphrase, to be honest. It's very, very important because you might need to play around and change the words. All right, now, second part of the exercise. So they just want us to pay attention to the suffix here. Now, of course, ment, the suffix ment, is a classical noun suffix. The same thing with the ed and the ing, it's a classic adjective suffix. So we want to do the same thing, and we want to decide the rest of the suffixes, whether they are suffixes for adjectives or suffixes for nouns. So ment is a noun, ing is an adjective, ed, adjective or noun?
Adjective.
Adjective, right? What about the ion?
Adjective. Ion, noun.
It's a noun, like action, for example. All right, the if, sorry, noun, not adjective. Protective, brain.
أيوة.
What is it, adjective or noun? Protective, with the ending of.
Adjective.
Right. What about full? Careful, beautiful, skillful.
Stressful.
Stressful. You're talking about your feeling now. Okay, what about it? Adjective or noun?
When, huh?
The ending full, F-U-L.
Adjective.
Yeah. Brahim is just giving me examples. The opposite, Brahim? Skillless, tactless, careless.
The adjective.
Yeah, the same.
بعطيك
No, you're right. We just want to categorize them. هذا بس اللي يبوه هنا في this exercise. The ENC, excellence, preference.
Noun.
Noun. So it's a noun. Yeah. And then we have Asian, situation, communication.
Noun.
Noun. All right. So this is also quite easy. Now here, number 6. I think they want us to complete the second table here. This time they only gave us verbs. We need to do the rest. All right, so pollute, what's the adjective?
Pollution.
What's the noun? The noun is pollution. Oops, it's in capital. What about the adjective?
Pollutant.
Pollution. There are 2 adjectives. Can you think of 2 adjectives for pollution?
Pollutant.
Polluted.
Polluted. We can say the lake is polluted. Or?
Thank you, Simpson.
What else?
ing ما تجيش معها.
Polluting. I don't think we can. Pollutive.
pollutant.
Pollutant.
ممكن ملوث.
Pollutant. Yeah, but that's a noun, right?
Yeah, adjective.
Why did this disappear? Can you still see the book? Oops, disappeared. Okay, sorry. Can you see the book now? Okay.
154.
Pollution and polluted. Polluting, it's a polluting agent. I think we can use the ing, right? What about employ, Ibrahim? We'll come back to pollution.
Polluting في الكتاب. Polluting.
Yeah, I thought so. It's a polluting agent.
Employment.
Good. Employment is good. What about the adjective? What do we call a person who...
Employed.
Yeah, and someone who doesn't have a job? The opposite?
Unemployed.
Right. So actually, opposites or negatives can be adjectives. Unemployed. What about embarrass?
Embarrassment.
Embarrassment.
Mm-hmm. What about the adjective?
Embarrassing. Embarrassed.
Yeah, embarrassed. The person and the situation that embarrassed him is embarrassing. What about depend?
Dependent.
The noun.
Dependent. لا هذا كadjective.
Dependence.
أيوة.
It's the opposite of independence, right? Dependence. Every woman wants to be independent. All right. Now, what about adjectives?
Dependent.
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 Dependent. Is it with an E or an A at the end? Dependent. Is this? Can you check the spelling? No, I think it's with an E in the end, not an A.
Dependent.
Let me check. Independent. Yeah, it's correct. It's with an E. It's not with an A. Independent. All right. Harm.
It's dependable.
Dependable. We have only one. We have only one adjective. In the book, there are two.
No, just one. Dependable.
Dependent. No.
No, dependable. Because I think it's dependent. في adjective dependent ولا?
There's independent. Dependent. He's dependent, but they don't use it. They usually use the independent. She's very independent.
شنو ماما متاع
لكن dependable عمري ما سمعت بها.
Dependable is like reliable, but it's a little weird. Everybody uses reliable.
Weird, yeah.
Dependable.
إيه.
Dependable is more. I think it's more accepted, more widely accepted. Reliable, dependable.
Yeah.
Okay. Harm. What's
harmful.
the noun? The harmful is the adjective. صح? Harmful.
إيه.
وعكسها.
Harmless.
Harmless. Harmful and harmless. But what's the noun, Ryan? What do you think the noun of harm is?
ذلك. Harmint.
It's just harm. It will cause you harm. Don't do that. It will cause you harm. So it's a noun. Harm. Predict, the noun.
Prediction.
Yeah, with the T-I-O-N. Prediction.
Yeah.
Prediction. And
predicted.
And what about the adjective?
Predictable.
Predicted.
Predicted is just I think it's just the past simple predicted, but it's not the adjective. Predictable. Predictable is correct. Predictable, something that's predictable. And the opposite I think with the UN, right? مش لاقيين هي لكن unpredictable هي تمشي adjective. Predictable, unpredictable. Confuse. What's the noun? Ibrahim, what do you think? What's the noun?
Confusion.
Yeah?
Confusion.
صح. What about the adjective?
Confusing.
Confusing.
إيه.
Confusing. And a person who's been a victim of confusion, how does he feel?
Confused.
Yes.
Confused.
Yeah. Confusing and confused. A confused person. A confused country, like us. We're a confused people. Reserve.
Reservement.
Reserve يحجز.
Yes. Yes.
تمام.
Reservance, maybe. Reservation.
Reservation.
أيوة.
I think it's correct. لكن فاهم معنى ثانية. صح. Reservation. Like booking. حجز.
Yeah.
Reservation.
إيه.
And محجوز. How do we say it?
Reserved.
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 صح. It's reserved. فيهاش إي. Reserved. Yeah. I think all of them are right by now. Let's take a quick look, a sneak peek. Let's take a sneak peek and find out. 156. All right. 156. What is it? They told us 155. What a 154. 154. Yeah, here they are. Okay, reservation reserved, صح, confused, can't صح, predictable, dependable, okay, employed, polluting, polluted.
الحمد لله.
Employed. رحمك الله.
هذيك أصلا.
Yeah. Employed, employable. Employable. We didn't think of employable. Didn't employed this. Employed, unemployed. That's what we thought of. Employable, it means you have some skills. You're employable. Maybe a company would want you. فيك ما يتوظف يعني. Employable. All right. I think it's most human beings are employable unless they're completely ignorant or illiterate. Maybe in this age, if you can't read and write, or if you can't use a computer, maybe this means you're unemployable. مش حيقدر يوظفك حد.
أنا unemployable لأنني actually في الكمبيوتر الله.
Yeah, I think some basic skills. You don't need to be an expert, just basic skills. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we did that.
في قعدت ناخذ في كورس في ICDL. قعدت ناخذ في معهد بتاع بن عاشور بتاع جماعة المصارف. فأنا كنت أصغر واحد. والفرق بيني أنا واللي هذا يعني الأكبر مني أقرب واحد قريب 15 سنة 20 سنة الفرق. باهي وأكبر واحدة فينا ولا أصغر أحفاد هندي أنا.
والله.
باهي فكان تشبح الماوس كيف بتشد فيه.
بيدها الزوز
مش بيدها الزوز هي الله يبارك انت كبيرة فبيد واحدة. فلما انا جاي بنستخدم الماوس بيتفترش في ايديا.
خنقاتها خنق عصيدة بزين.
خنقاتها خنق. تعرف لما تجبد في يمين تسمح لك صح.
Yeah, I think this is sad. يعني حرام هذا المفروض فقتهم الدرب. You know, it's
إيه يعني لا هم بروحهم قالوا في ناس مفروض قال تو إحنا لنا إحنا معاملة استخدمنا هي بروحي قالت أنا ما عندي مندير بيه هذا الموضوع. في ناس مفروض في إمكاني عند. يعني قلت أنا خلاص نتقاعد السنة الجاية بنتقاعد.
ما بشيلهم بسرعة فلوس.
Exactly, yeah, it's just business. بالضبط.
business بشيلهم
مش قسم التدريب بعدين ينزل الفاتورة و you know it's just business الجو بتاعهم.
ايوه يعملوا قرار في بريطانيا بعدين.
and most of them actually go اللي عنده واسطة يحصل رفعوا هذا الفترة ديك. دربت جماعة اللي هم في مصرف ليبيا المركزي نفس القصة، كان عندهم قسم تدريب وصاير الفشخ قصة طلوع، بعدين سكروه لهم، بعدين it's a bureaucratic mess, it's a bureaucracy. Okay, so the vocab part is finished. أعتقد هذا كزايد, but let's take a look. شكل pronunciation, circle the when, the endings that we don't say the schwa sound. Kindness لا هما اللي ما فيهاش schwa sound. Kindness لا صح. Kindness ما فيهاش. It doesn't have a schwa sound. Kindness نس لا فيها
kindness
kindness. Manage ما فيهاش, right? Manage. What about dangerous? What do you think now?
فيها
yeah you're right. Adventure.
اليو شوا حتى هي.
Correct. Argument.
الإي شوا. argument.
Argument. Kindness. Yeah. Honesty.
ما فيهاش.
Yes, correct. Promotion.
Maybe الIU.
Yeah, the IO. Promotion. Yeah, shun. So I think honesty and manage, these are the only two where we don't have a schwa ending. All right, which adjective in each group has a different stress pattern? So this is just a mini pronunciation quiz. Okay, so it's easy, let's cover it. So which adjective in each group has a different stress pattern? So here we have relaxed. Okay, I'll just read them. Relaxed.
Two BTS, two patterns.
What do you mean?
The two BTS into the brackets.
Wait, now, which question are you talking about? 2 points. Points. So we have relaxed, concerned. I think they want the odd one out. Relaxed, concerned, frightened. Which one is different?
Relaxed, concerned, frightened.
All of them have 2 syllables, 2 syllables, 2 syllables, but one of them has a different pattern. What do you think, Ibrahim?
Relaxed, concerned, frightened, exhausted, terrified.
No, the A is together, B is together.
إيه لا قاعد ننطق فيه ما عليه الطريق ما فهمت حاجة. pronunciation.
All right, if we do them, I'm going to try to show them with stress. Relaxed, concerned, frightened.
في الفirst syllable, frightened.
Yeah, frightened starts with the first syllable is stressed. The next one isn't. The other two, I think, بالعكس, ولا? Relaxed, concerned. The second syllable is stressed, I think. So maybe frightened is a bit different. And if we check the second example, exhausted, terrified, embarrassed. Okay, this one is, I think, a little easier. What do you think now? Exhausted, terrified, embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
Alhamdulillah.
Exhausted. Exhausted. First syllable, exhausted.
First or second? Exhausted.
في الوسط.
What about terrified?
في الأخير.
Terrified.
هي.
Uh-huh.
Terrified ممكن اللي مختلفة عليهم.
Yeah, I think so too. I think terrified
terrified
is...
الأخير.
I think it's in the beginning بالعكس ولا؟ terrified. terrified. لأن كان بالدراء في الأخير بتولي terrified. terrified. I'm not sure, but it's different.
حتى level A. terrified.
All right, okay.
terrified.
So we have the listening linked to attack to good. Okay, number 3, match each word 1 to 3 with to a word with the same ear sound. Okay, so the first one is okay. Brian, you do this.
A B 1B قصدي.
1B beard heard.
Beard. Heard. Disappear. Beard.
So this is a match. 1C is the match, I think. Beard and disappear. What about the next one? Bear.
Wearing hair. B.
Bear wear.
Bear wearing.
And
okay,
earthquake hurt.
A.
And earthquake and heard. But this one, the second one is bear, air. So they're a little tricky. But the difference between 2 and 3 isn't too big, but they're not the same. Different vowel sound. All right, number 4. Look at the letters in bold. Are the sounds the same or different? Okay, now you can take this.
Gorgeous jacket.
Okay, gorgeous jacket. Same or different sound?
Same.
Okay. Okay, next one, Brian.
A university student.
Same or different sound? What do you think?
Different.
Why different? University student, you, same sound, right? Unless you're an American. If you're American, you'll say a university student. So maybe if you're American, it's a different sound. But I think if in British English, it's the same.
And I get a university student.
A university you نفس الصوت.
ما أصلاً الأي مش أصيلة هنا article.
Yeah. It's just an article.
بروف.
A university student. I think it's the same. B. What about C now? What do you think?
An intermediate certificate, the same.
Okay. What about D, Brian?
A stubborn workaholic.
What do you think?
Same.
Stubborn,
Stubborn.
workout.
No. Yes. R. هيك الأي هذيك اللي بحدها نقطتين وهذه where.
Yeah, like clerk, like clerk and skirt. الثانية زي clerk وskirt. Work, clerk, skirt. لكن الأولى stubborn, like popcorn, like it's not the same, I think.
Like horn.
Stubborn.
No,
not like horn. No.
Stubborn.
Fine. Declared. I don't know, to be honest. Yeah. What about E?
Enough stuff. نفس الصوت.
Yeah, I think it's the same. The last one?
Although it's drought.
What do you think now?
No idea.
How do you read the last word?
Although drought or drought. Drought ولا drought?
It's actually drought.
Although not the same. أنا drought.
Yeah, it's not the same. Okay. This is the extra linking sound. All right. I I don't want to say it because I'll answer it. Can you just read it now? Read the 3 examples and try to read them quickly and see what sound comes out.
أما هم.
Number 5.
Number 5. Clear out.
Okay.
Go up.
See
off.
Very good. What's the extra sound, extra letter اللي يطلع معك؟
Clear out. كأن A زايدة.
لا. لأن ال A جاية مع ال O من الأول. out جاية فيها. لكن في حاجة انزادت.
Clear out.
It's actually an R if you think of it. Clear out. Route.
yeah. Clear out.
الR اللي من التالي زادت يعني ولت واضحة. Clear out. Clear out.
Yeah.
Route. So it's like saying route. Clear out. What about the next one? Go up. Up. Up.
W.
It's a W. Yeah, go up. And the last one?
Y.
See yuff. Yeah, yuff. See yuff. All right. Do we say the words in strong or weak? This is easy. Ibrahim, what do you think? The pink words, just read the sentence and then you tell me, do you think they are in the strong or the weak form?
Okay, we were trying to find out who this email was from. Where to was from? I think weak.
All of them?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, let's confirm this. Let's take a look. Let's play the track and find out.
1. Kindness. Manage. Dangerous. Adventure. Argument. Honesty. Promotion.
2. A. Relaxed. Concerned. Frightened.
Frightened is different.
B. Exhausted. Terrified. Embarrassed.
3.
Beard. Disappear. Bear. Wearing. Earthquake. Heard.
4. A.
A gorgeous jacket.
B.
A university student.
C.
An intermediate certificate.
D.
A stubborn workaholic.
E.
Enough stuff.
F.
Although it's a drought.
I think stubborn and workaholic is the same.
5.
Clear
أنا
up.
زي ما قلت أنا.
Go up. See off.
6.
We were trying to find out who this email was from.
I think all of them are weak except from. صح ولا؟
From me.
From الوحيدة اللي كانت strong. الباقيات weak.
أعطاها.
From قالها كاملة زي ما متعودين عليه.
إيه.
All right, so this is just for fun, you know. It's just something.
I don't think it's for fun. كان هم اللي بيديروا امتحانات معناها هذا الامتحان يكي شكله في البرونسيشن.
Yeah, of course. But this is not.
في pronunciation في الامتحان.
No. There's no pronunciation in the exam.
ما في.
نعمل لها.
قلت لك أنت تقول لا والله I have no idea وزعمت عادي ما ليش علاقة بالموضوع مرات يجي في الامتحان عارفينها يعني.
No, this is just it's a revision. It's just a review quiz, but it's not. In the exam you have listening, لكن حيكون من غير listening عادي يعني. We will
listening من غير listening ركزي.
بالوحي you have to guess.
لكن مش هتسمع.
You have to guess the answers without listening. وبعدين بنصححهم. You have to guess what the words are without listening.
Oh, thank you. It's unfair.
Yeah. Let's see. No, we don't have anything else. This means our next lesson, the review lesson, inshallah, will start with اللي هو revision اللي اتفقنا عليه. Where is it? اللي قلنا في page بكري المرة فاتت طلعناه. What page is it? Here it is. Yeah, here it is. I found it. It starts with page 115, I think, or 14. Yeah, here it is. 14. Yeah, 15. 115. Why don't we, if you want to save time, and if you want to finish even quicker, it's up to you. I don't know. You can start warming up, do some of these, or answer them if you want, because we will cover all of them, inshallah, hopefully. I think we can cover that. I think we can cover all of it and maybe even have a little more time to discuss maybe a little bit of grammar. نديروا لفة على الconditionals maybe and a little bit. I think Brahim, you need to check the past perfect.
إيه لا أنا بإذن الله بنقعمز قعميزة تعرف.
Yeah.
Final.
But I have a better idea so you don't get too confused. أبدأ من اللي هو الريفيجن السمري في نهاية الكتاب. اللي هو السمري العادي.
يعطيها لي طول.
يعطيها لك من الأخير أيوة. ما يدوخكش. يعطي لك اللب يعطيه لك أيوة. Just يعطيك main idea, one example or two, and you'll be fine after that, I think.
خذ اللب وانطلق إيه.
Yeah. وبدأت مع examples اللي حنديروهم في حصة مراجعة. I think you should be okay.
إن شاء الله.
Okay, so we'll meet again on what is it? Monday. We'll meet again on Monday, okay?
Monday.
Yeah.
على on 8 ولا؟
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
نديروا الإكزام.
Okay.
أنت قلت المفروض الإكزام.
The exam, if you want, you can do it on Wednesday. If you want, the next Saturday. الأفضل ما نبوش نأجله هلبا لأن ماذا بيا باش نبدو حتى في المستويات الجديدة. To get the idea.
Yeah, ما تأجلش هلبا عندكش مشكلة لكن مش Wednesday هذه خلي.
Saturday is okay if you want to do.
Saturday, yeah. Okay.
No problem. We can leave it to Saturday.
قاعدة نراجع فقاعدة في يونت 8 اليوم. وما زال الأربع هادو هم اللي يعني هم اللي تقدر الأول كله تحس روحك تمشي الواحد كله في الأخير جديد كله جابوه في الأخير.
I see. No problem. We can
أنا مش نفس الشيء لكن.
Yeah, you wouldn't mind it on Saturday either.
يا لا تعرف ساكت وخلاص ضيع الأمر.
Yeah, you need to do a little bit of revision. أنت اللي صار لك أنا فجأة لقيت روحك هلبا grammar. Yeah, because this is intermediate. شو صاير لهم اللي أي حاجة فاضلت لهم اللي grammar الأول كله حطوه لك. Because in the upper intermediate.
ما فيش الجرامر متاع الفيوتشر بيرفكت هذاك.
جو عليه ذاك.
استغربت ما لقيتهاش يعني.
يا لا ذاك ما يحطوش فيه في الانترميديت ديما في الابر هذاك. and 2060
حاجه للابر بس ما يقعدش بروحها.
هم فيوتشر بيرفكت يحطوا فيه في الابر يحطوا ويكرروا في الريلاتيف كلوزز يعطوا فيه تفصيل اكثر. عندهم
حتى الارتيكل ما زال فيها تفصيل اكثر حسيت.
بس يعطوا في حاجه بتفصيل اكثر.
ما كل مره يتوسع لك يعطيك لا يعطيك في استخدامات تانية يوسع لك في الافاق شويه يعني. ويعطوا حتى في اللي هي بالنسبه للريلاتيف كلوزز يعطوا defining and non-defining relative clauses. يحددوا شويه معاش relative clauses بصفه عامه. So each time
هذه لقيتها في الكورس بتاع الايز defining و non-defining لكن تلخبط شويه على العموم.
تلخبط شويه صح. تابع لانها هي upper intermediate advanced grammar اكثر هذيك. Okay, so inshallah موعدنا on Monday, all right? So we'll meet again on Monday, and we'll cover what's left.
Okay.
All right, so good night. Have a good night.
Good night.
See you soon. Bye bye.